The chains of Olympus, the throne room of Olympus, burned with divine fire. Its marble columns cracked and bleeding golden ichor. Kratos lay broken at Zeus's feet, his chest heaving, the blades of exile scattered across the obsidian floor like discarded toys. "You were always a disappointment," Zeus said. His voice thundered itself. Lightning danced between his fingers as he looked down at his son. "Did you truly believe a mortal, even one touched by godhood, could challenge the king of Olympus?" Kratos tried to rise, but his body refused. Every bone felt shattered, every muscle torn. Blood red, mortal blood pooled beneath him. The rage that had sustained him through years of vengeance flickered like a dying candle. "I will kill you, ... Kratos rasped, but the words were hollow, empty. Zeus laughed, and the sound shook the heavens. "No, my son, you won't." The king of the gods raised his master bolt high. The weapon hummed with primordial power, the same lightning that had defeated the Titans, that had carved the world from chaos. Kratos saw his death reflected in that terrible light, but death did not come. Instead, Zeus drove the bolt through Kratos' chest, not to kill, but to bind. Ethereal chains erupted from the wound, wrapping around Kratos' limbs, his throat, his very soul. He screamed, a sound of pure agony that echoed across all of Greece. "Death is too merciful for you," Zeus said quietly. "You will live, Kratos, forever." The chains pulled Kratos down, through the clouds and marble of Olympus, through the earth itself, into the deepest pit of Tartarus. This was not the Tartarus he had visited before. This was something worse, something even the Titans feared. He hung suspended in absolute darkness, the chains burning with divine fire that never consumed, only tortured. Time lost all meaning. Seconds stretched into hours, hours into centuries. The darkness was alive, pressing against his mind like a physical weight. Then the whispers began. "Murderer." Kratos recognized the voice. Lysandra, his wife. Daddy Calliope, his daughter. "No," Kratos growled. "You're not real, you're dead. I killed you." The words caught in his throat, sharp as broken glass. "Yes, you did." Lysandra's voice echoed from everywhere and nowhere. "You covered us in blood. Our blood. Your family's blood." Shapes began to form in the darkness. His wife and daughter, their bodies, as he had left them, mangled, burned, their faces frozen in their final moments of terror and betrayal. But they moved now, jerking toward him with unnatural, puppet-like movements. "I was tricked," Kratos said, but the excuse felt hollow even to him. Ares held the blade," his daughter's voice said. "Sweet and innocent and wrong, but you swung it, Daddy. You felt our bones break. You heard us scream your name." They reached him now, their cold fingers touching his face with a gentleness that was worse than any violence. Lysandra leaned close, her breath smelling of ash and death. "We loved you," she whispered, "and you slaughtered us like animals." The chains tightened, and Kratos screamed again. Days or years later, he couldn't tell anymore. Visions changed. Now he saw the destruction he had wrought across Greece. Every person he had killed in his quest for vengeance. The innocent sailors drowned when he destroyed Poseidon. The mortals crushed when he toppled Olympus itself. Children, women, men all dead because of his rage. They came to him in the darkness, an endless parade of corpses. Each one spoke their name. Each one showed him their wounds. Each one asked him why. "For vengeance," Kratos said, his voice breaking. "For justice. For yourself," they replied in unison. "You've destroyed the world for yourself." And he knew it was true. He had told himself he fought for Sparta, for his family, for freedom from the gods' tyranny. But in the end, he had simply wanted others to feel his pain, to make the world bleed as he had bled. The weight of that truth was heavier than any chain. Then came the worst torture of all. The darkness showed him what had happened after his defeat. With Kratos fallen, Zeus's tyranny was absolute. The king of gods, ruled without mercy or constraint. His paranoia turned to cruelty. He slaughtered anyone who might challenge him, gods, mortals, even his own children who survived Kratos' rampage. Kratos watched as Zeus destroyed Sparta, grinding every stone to dust in vengeance against his son's homeland. He watched as the remaining gods were chained and tortured, their screams echoing across Olympus. Athena, who had tried to reason with Zeus, Artemis, who'd spoken against him, even Hera, his own wife, struck down in a fit of rage. The mortal world suffered most of all. Crops withered, seas boiled. The sun itself became a weapon, burning cities to ash. Humanity cried out to gods who could no longer help them, and their prayers went unanswered. All because Kratos had failed. No, Kratos whispered. I wanted to save them. I wanted to free them. You wanted revenge. The darkness replied in his own voice, and now they all pay the price of your failure. He saw mortals huddling in caves, starving, dying slowly, as Zeus's wrath poisoned the world. He saw children crying for parents who would never come home. He saw everything he had fought for, everything he had destroyed himself, turned to ash and suffering, and he could do nothing but watch. The chains would never break. Zeus had made certain of that. Kratos would remain here forever, suspended in this personal Tartarus, watching the consequences of his failure play out endlessly. Every death was on his hands. Every scream bore his name. In the absolute darkness of that eternal prison, Kratos finally understood. He had become what he had always hated. A monster, a tyrant, a bringer of death and suffering. His vengeance had consumed him so completely that he had never stopped to ask whether the world would be better after his victory. He had simply assumed it would be. But there was no victory here, no redemption, no final peace. Only the chains, only the darkness. Only the endless parade of those he had failed and those he had killed. The ghost of Sparta hung in the void, and for the first time in his existence, Kratos felt something worse than rage. Despair. Above, in Olympus, Zeus sat on his throne and smiled. Occasionally, he would send his consciousness down into Tartarus to check on his son. Each time, he found Kratos exactly as he had left him, broken, suffering, drowning in guilt and grief. This is mercy, my son, Zeus would whisper into the darkness. This is love. I am teaching you what it means to lose everything, what it means to fail, what it means to be mortal. And then Zeus would return to Olympus, to his absolute rule, to his endless tyranny, leaving Kratos alone in the dark, forever. In the deepest shadows of Tartarus, the ghost of Sparta waits. The chains do not rust. The darkness does not fade. The screams do not stop. This is his eternity. This is his defeat. This is the price of rage.